Welcome back to the Distressed Princess. I'm Rhonda. In today's video, I'm going to recreate some trending TikTok Halloween DIYs. They are all super quick and easy, and most items can be found at the Dollar Tree. So let's get started. The first DIY is inspired by Ashley Savage. I will put her screen name up on the screen here. And she made these adorable ghosts. So I wanted to try to recreate them using Dollar Tree materials. You may recognize this setup from a previous ghost DIY that I did. And I'm using a Dollar Tree paper towel holder and a Dollar Tree foam ball. Make sure it's a foam ball because you need to cut a slit in it with a knife and it will fit down onto the paper towel holder, and this will be the shape of the ghost. So this is its body and its head. And you also need the ball to be white. If it's not already, then you'll need to paint it. I had to paint mine. So Ashley Savage used some Sharpa for her ghost, which is really nice. But to make this a Dollar Tree DIY, I'm using 2 of the car wash microfiber cloths. Make sure to cut the tags off because ghosts just aren't ghosts with tags on them. Now the reason we're using 2 of the microfiber cloths is because one isn't really long enough to make a whole ghost. So I'm using 2, but you won't even be able to tell really that there's 2 being used. Hot glue the first cloth on one half of the head and then drape the other cloth and hot glue it on the other side. Now hot glue a fabric pumpkin to the cloth so that it looks like the ghost is holding it. And the last step is to cut some eyes out of black felt and hot glue those on. And here he is, sweet as can be on my mantle, and it might be my favorite ghost I've made this year. The next DIY is a Pottery Barn dupe. So we're going to do the terracotta jack-o'-lanterns, and this is inspired by 2 different creators. I picked 2 creators because there's 2 different versions that I wanted to try. First, you'll need some of these jack-o'-lanterns, which I already had these, but you can buy them at Home Depot. But these are just ones that I have used out in my yard every year for years. And I'll be using Erica's version to do these, which is with spray paint. And then I have these smaller jack-o'-lanterns that I've had in my stash forever. And I'm going to use Sid's version, which is to hand paint them. And these jack-o'-lanterns can be found at the Family Dollar store and also at the Dollar Tree Plus. So the bigger pumpkins I'm going to take outside and spray paint with this Rust-Oleum color Nutmeg. And this is how they look after their coat of spray paint. To make these look like terracotta, we'll be sprinkling some flour on them. And then you'll need a chippy brush to kind of brush away the excess. But to make the flour stick, you'll have to spray a little bit of your spray paint onto your pumpkins, and that way your flour will stick to the pumpkin and not just fall right off. The next part is up to your own personal preference. You can use as little or as much flour as you like, and I tried to go heavy with it because I wanted a really frosty effect. Then just brush away the excess and voila, you have Pottery Barn pumpkins. And the other version, which I'm doing on the smaller pumpkins, is just to hand paint them. And you can also add baking soda to your paint. I didn't do that this time because I knew I was going to put flour on them after. So that's where my texture is going to come from. Now the original creator left her pumpkins just slightly wet and put her flour on. but I was a little bit afraid of that it might get kind of goopy. So I let my pumpkins completely dry, and then I sprayed on this acrylic sealer, or you could use clear spray paint, and that's what I used to stick my flour on with. And then same as the other version, just brush away the excess flour and that's it. Oh, on these pumpkins, I did paint the stems with some brown paint too. The next TikTok trend is by Kat, the Millennial Mama, and she made a ghost out of a Dollar Tree mop head and a mason jar. And you'll also need a witch hat. I guess you could use either size of mason jar, but this was the larger one at Dollar Tree. I started out by unraveling the strings on the mop head. This is optional, but if you do this, it will make your ghost look fuller. Then hot glue the mop head to the bottom side of the mason jar. If you already have a little witch hat that you like, just glue that to the top and your hat is done. But I wanted to give this hat from Dollar Tree a makeover. So first I removed its pick, and then I wrapped it in some burlap ribbon and hot glued in place. Then I traced the brim of the hat onto some gray felt. I cut out the circle and then I cut a hole in the middle. Now this is so that the felt can fit down over the hat, the cone part of the hat, and I want it to fit snugly, so I tried to make the hole just big enough for it to go down over the hat and no bigger. Then I cut out a strip of black felt to do a band around the hat and hot glued it down. Then attach your hat to the top of the mop head. Cut out some black felt for eyes. And for this ghost, I used my white marker to make a couple of lines in the eyes to give them more life. And hot glue them on. He is really cute, and if you want to, you can light him up with a little tea light. The next big TikTok trend is to make a yarn ghost garland, and I took my inspiration from Ashley at DIY and Design, and you'll need a book and a ball of yarn. So you wrap the yarn around the book, and I did 50 times, and you can go ahead and cut the tail off. Then take some more yarn and thread it between the book and the yarn tassel you've just made. Then slide the tassel down off of the book and tie a double knot in the other piece of yarn to hold it together. And then cut the ends, making your ghost. The original creator tied another piece of yarn around the top to make a head, but I preferred mine without that, so you do how you want to do. I made 8 ghosts, but I only wind up using 7 for my garland. And for the eyes, you have different options. You could cut out little circles out of felt or construction paper, but I'm using some little tiny black beads and I just hot glued them on. I strung mine up using jute string, but you could use another piece of yarn or whatever you like. And you already have the yarn on the top of the ghost to tie them to your jute string. The last TikTok Halloween trend comes from Sue in her home, and I thought it was just absolutely genius. She took these Dollar Tree night lights and the Dollar Tree wood cutouts and made a really cute special Halloween nightlight. I did a jack-o'-lantern, a cat, and a witch hat, and after I got them painted up the colors that I wanted them to be, I accented them with some other paint to make them pop a little. So on this jack-o'-lantern, I'm using a dry brush of some black paint. And on the black cat, I used white paint. Now, Sue used hot glue to glue her wood cutout to the nightlight, but that didn't hold for me, so I used my Starbond glue. Then you can make some little bows out of ribbon to hide the little holes in the top of the wood cutouts, and it's done. And I think these turned out so stinking adorable. Now let's take a look back at our TikTok Halloween DIYs today. Time for a cute critter video. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you're enjoying those first few days of fall. And if you want to see more fall decorating DIYs and ideas, then click the link that I've provided for you right here, and I'll see you next time. Bye.